And could we potentially have Deshaun Watson on the Panthers going against his former team, the Houston Texans, in the Super Bowl? The Carolina Panthers have won the trade lottery for Deshaun Watson. He is now in the black and blue. Guys, I'm excited to see. In this rebuild, we're going to go over and see what the future looks like for Deshaun Watson and the Carolina Panthers with him under center. So, you know, we had to give up quite a lot for Deshaun Watson. The Texans aren't going to let him go for nothing, but at the same time, you got to remember that everyone in the NFL knows that Deshaun Watson wants out. And because of that, the Texans do lose a little bit of trade leverage in the situation. But what I did to make things as realistic as possible, I went back and looked at the previous superstar trades, and what better one to look at than the Jamal Adams trade, Jets, Seahawks from last year. Even though it wasn't a quarterback, we could see what all was given up just to get Jamal Adams. Then I had to obviously take into consideration Deshaun Watson's a quarterback. He's young. He's explosive. He's a playmaker. We've got to take all those things into consideration, but we also have to remember it is Madden, and you can only do so much. So what I ended up doing was giving the Texans Christian McCaffrey, 2 first-round draft picks, the 21 first-round draft pick and the 2022 first-round draft pick, along with the second-round draft pick in the 2021 draft. The Panthers, in return, get Deshaun Watson and only a third-round draft pick, so they lose 2 first rounds, a second round, and Christian McCaffrey for Deshaun Watson and a third, and I think that is pretty manageable. I think the Texans are want to get rid of Deshaun Watson, but also get some draft capital back, especially since they had to get rid of DeAndre Hopkins, and they really don't have any early round picks. And this is a long shot at best. The Carolina Panthers don't have a lot of draft capital, so that's what's going to make it really hard to get this draft to be successful in real life. But I think something around this would look similar. I couldn't do but so much because, you know, you only have so much to work with Madden. You got salary caps and all those things, and we can't adjust budgets and salaries and stuff in the back end like they can in real life. But we've got Deshaun Watson. I also made another trade for Teddy Bridgewater because you're probably going to want to know what happened with him. So Teddy Bridgewater is now a member of the Indianapolis Colts. I thought this was really the best fit for Teddy Bridgewater. And the Colts are going to be in the market of looking at getting a Teddy Bridgewater, maybe a Mitchell Trubisky, maybe Matthew Stafford. I think would be a good mix in there because of what they just did with Phillip Rivers. They're obviously looking for someone established. They're in a win now mentality, I think, with that team, that defense, and they want to go ahead and try to take over, especially if Deshaun Watson leaves the AFC. They're really going to be hungry and trying to get a quarterback that could, you know, vault them into a top contender along with the Titans. So the Panthers end up giving up Teddy Bridgewater and a 7th round pick for Jack Doyle and a 3rd round pick. So now we know the Panthers have now 2 3rd round picks, or really 3, to work with in this draft. And I think that's something that they could probably swallow. You know, that they're going to have 3 3rd round picks, and that is something manageable to do. I think that's probably within their best interest. They'll have 2 3rd round picks, a 4th round, and a 5th round pick. And you could get some value positions out of that, and we're really going to have to do that in the draft. All right, guys, so let's meet the new Carolina Panthers with Deshaun Watson under center. Of course, we're going to start off with the man himself, Deshaun Watson. We got PJ Walker, XFL superstar, playing backup. We're still going to need to look at getting a running back. I didn't pick anybody up in free agency because I wanted to wait until it's over and try to pick up somebody on a 1-year deal. And maybe we can try to get somebody in next year's draft. We did pick up a decent fullback. You always got to have a bruiser there to help with some lead blocking. Now, the wide receiver position for the Carolina Panthers is one of the best in all of the NFL, really. You got Robbie Anderson, Curtis Samuel going to play the slot, and then DJ Moore. Follow that up with Jack Doyle, the new tight end from the Indianapolis Colts, via the trade. And Ian Thomas looking pretty daggone good as far as outside weaponry. Of course, he had Christian McCaffrey, that'd be even better, but you have to give some to get some, right? Now, the offensive line is really where we need to improve in the offense, in my opinion. Now, we've got Tyler Moton, Mike Paradis here, and we picked up Simile out of free agency. He's still hurt, but he'll be back for the end of the season. But Greg Little and Dustin Daly projects, they were 2nd and 4th round draft picks for the Carolina Panthers a few years ago. They're going to have to do their own. Unless we can find somebody in the draft coming up This is a area that we really need to improve on in the upcoming years for the Carolina Panthers. We don't want another repeat of Cam Newton here for the Carolina Panthers. We want to keep Deshaun Watson upright. Don't let him get beat up. We want to protect him with the offensive line, and I think the new reign in Carolina, I think they want to do that. I think David Tepper and Mike Rule, I don't think they'll make the same mistake. Now, when we go over the defense, we've got Jeremy Chinn, probably Defensive Rookie of the Year. The Texans did trade Whitney Merciless in that trade to get rid of some cap space. I don't think I mentioned that earlier, but that is part of that trade. We've got Jermaine Carter, Shaq Thompson holding down the outside linebacking spot. We picked up Xavier Woods in free agency to replace Justin Burris. Rasheed Douglas, Dante Jackson is holding it down for the cornerback positions. The defensive line, I think, is the strength of this Panthers D. You got Derek Brown, first-round pick, Brian Burns, first-round pick, and then K1 Short and Gross Matos, both second-round picks. And even though KK Short's been hurt the last few years, he still can apply some pressure, so we're hoping that they can really get some pressure to help out with the secondary. Jeremy Chinn is everything the Panthers wanted. I was really hoping they'd get Isaiah Simmons, and he's turned out to be the Isaiah Simmons of that 2020 draft, and he's been an absolute joy to watch play some football. So that's pretty much what we got for the Carolina Panthers. Let's go into the draft and see who we can get to help build around Deshaun Watson. So here we are. We have the 4th overall pick in the 3rd round. It's our first pick coming up, and you see a few picks later, we also have another one in the 3rd round. We got 3 in the 3rd round, so this is where we're really going to have to do our job here. Now, of course, because we started this relatively late, I'm not going to be able to choose a lot of good players because I didn't get that scouting done. Now, we do need outside linebacker help here, but I think do we go with a running back? Maybe we go with Najee Harris out of Alabama. I think that would be really cool to do, and that's probably something that we're going to give. Let's pick up Najee Harris out of Alabama. Let's get him. Pretty good, 71 overall. He's got a hidden development trait, so Najee Harris out of Alabama, power back, and I think he can follow in that mold that Mike Davis was. It was interesting to see Mike Davis play a completely different style of running back than Christian McCaffrey and be successful in that scheme and that offense, and I think Najee Harris can pick up right where Mike Davis left off. All right, so we stayed in North Carolina. We got Chris Rumpf out of Duke, speed rusher, outside linebacker, hidden development traits, so hopefully he'll be good. We're going to probably start him right away over Whitney Merciless and see if he can't develop into something that could be, possibly a, starter, maybe a good depth player for the Panthers in the upcoming future. Panthers go back-to-back on outside linebackers with Shaka Toney out of Penn State, another hidden development trait, 69 overall, and says he's a good pick. We're going to get him. Hopefully one of these guys will really be something for the Carolina Panthers. We need linebacker depth for the Panthers. We also need some offensive line, but there's been nothing there, and we don't want to reach. We want to make sure we get some depth, some good players. So far, I'd say we've had one good pick, but we'll see if we can't get anybody else in these later rounds. So the Carolina Panthers still end up having 6 picks, even though they traded away their 1st and 2nd round pick for this year. And I think they did okay. We got Najee Harris, which is a big hole to fill in that offense. And hopefully this offense is going to be pretty good. They got a few linebackers, left outside linebacker, right outside linebacker, and a middle linebacker with KJ Britt out of Auburn. And we also picked up Spencer Brown, depth player, left tackle, and Seth Williams, who is going to be maybe a potential, 4th, 5th depth chart wide receiver for the Panthers. But doing pretty good cap room. We still got a little bit of space there. I think we've done a good job of establishing some help around Deshaun Watson, given that we gave up a lot to get him. I think the Panthers are still in a good shape. They're not a win-now team, and again, that makes the trade for Deshaun Watson a little bit questionable. Even though he is 25, you got some years to kind of develop around him. But guys, I'm excited. Let's go into the end of this first season and see what happens with Carolina Panthers with Deshaun Watson under center. All right, guys, so first year with Deshaun Watson under center, and 5-11 go the Panthers. The Saints finished 11-5. Bucks 10-6 and the Falcons 8-8. So the Panthers did have one of the worst seasons. Well, they actually had the same season as they did the year before. Guys, we got to figure out what went wrong for the Panthers here, man. First season under Deshaun Watson, and you got to think 19 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. He did not do a good job passing. Najee Harris didn't eclipse 1,000 yards rushing. Curtis Samuel, yeah, the offense was not clicking. Maybe that's not the best scheme. I did go through and switch schemes, and defense seemed to do pretty decent. Jack Thompson led tackles. Jeremy Chinn's right in there. Tackles for loss. Let's see. Check about sacks. Brian Burns didn't really have that much sacks. We didn't kick the ball very well. So maybe we need to work on that. We were 32nd in offensive yards. We had the worst defense or offense, and the defense there is a 27th. So we really need to work on maybe changing up the offense a little bit. We'll change schemes this upcoming season just to see what happens. And hopefully things will go better for the Panthers than a 5-11 record with a much better quarterback. All right, guys, so we re-signed a few of our players here. Nick Needham, we got him to fill that slot position. We did not re-sign Robbie Anderson, 29 years old. He wants a 4-year deal, and he's going to get regressed pretty hard. Dante Jackson wasn't interested in signing us, but we franchise tagged him to make sure that worked. Matt Paradis wasn't, unfortunately, interested in signing with us either, and I was really hoping that we could get some 1-year deals on some linemen. That way we weren't forced in the draft to try to get somebody. We weren't able to re-sign Kalichi Osemele. We're not interested in getting Michael Pilardi, K1 Short, any of these guys. We did re-sign Jermaine Carter just as depth. And that's pretty much it. Everybody else we're going to let go for the time being. We do have a lot of holes to fill, but I think we can get it done and hopefully get the Panthers back in the right direction. All right, guys, here we are in the 2022 draft. Remember, the Panthers did give up another first-round pick, so they won't have a first-round pick in this year's draft, but we have a second-round pick. But before we start, let's look at the team. I did add a few free agents back to the Panthers. Of course, we got Deshaun Watson. Duke Johnson, I added Duke Johnson to the mix as a good receiving running back because obviously Najee Harris is not that. We also got a Preston Williams, who is a deep threat wide receiver who will start that wide receiver 2 position. I'm going to move Curtis Samuel over to the slot. He works better in that position. We got Orlando Brown holding down the left tackle position. We re-signed Kalichi Osemele. We also got veteran center Alex Mack to hold down the center position, Tyler Moton. And then we also found David Njoku in free agency. So we went out and we gathered a few good players for the Panthers offense. On defense, I do not think we grabbed anybody. Of course, we're going to have to re-sign a defensive tackle, but I'm hoping that we can find somebody in the draft. And then when we look at our linebacking core, Jack Thompson, Jermaine Carter, and then Tooney did end up developing into a 72 overall. He does have that star factor development trait, so maybe he can get up until maybe like a 78, 79, be a starter for a while. Hopefully he will. We'll see. Whitney Merciless has regressed quite a bit, 67 overall. It's one of the reasons why the Texans wanted to get rid of him. And then on special teams, we did pick up punter Matt Hack. So we got him for 5 years on a 5-year deal to stick around. So we've got him locked up as well. Let's start the draft. All right, so we get pick 4 in round 2. Let's go and see who we have available. Let's go through and see some people I've scouted. We've got a middle linebacker with a pretty good development trait. That's probably who we're going to go with. We also have a tight end, but he's in the 4th round. I think we can get him later in the draft. You guys know how that all works out. From everybody that we've scouted, I think it's probably best that we go with the middle linebacker, Trent Fox. Hopefully he'll be decent. We don't need a running back. I don't even know why I even scouted that position because I just didn't know if we were going to re-sign Duke Johnson or not. I think we go with Trent Fox here out of Florida. 72 overall, hidden development trait. He will be our starting middle linebacker. Hopefully that development trait is a star or superstar. Because Jermaine Carter is, obviously we signed him for 2 more years, but I really just signed him for depth at best. Is there anybody else here? We do have a tight end, Dom Daniels, Kyle Foster. But I don't know if we've got anybody else that I want to sign that we scouted. All right, guys, I think if you got a 1st-round grade on a guy, you take him. Dom Daniels from USC, 74 overall. He's a possession tight end. We got him picked up in the 3rd round with a 1st-round draft grade. I think that is pretty good. So here is the 2022 draft class for the Carolina Panthers. Trent Fox and Dom Daniels round out the best 2 picks for the Panthers. Everyone else is more depth, and we struck out with Warren Anthony out of Washington. Tried to get some depth there on the offensive line, and we really didn't get anything. He's probably gonna be a roster cut 7th round pick though. Usually they are. Usually they don't end up making it through training camp, but I think starting linebacker, we've got a starting tight end. I think that is a good thing. And I say starting tight end, we've got a backup tight end because we do have Njoku and Jack Doyle, but at least we've got some people that'll be around for a while. All right, guys, so here's the 2022 Carolina Panthers. Now, this overall is looking to be pretty good. So let's look at who all we got, of course, in the draft and then in free agency. We still ended up getting Osemele again, like we talked about. And I think this team is going to be pretty decent. Of course, like I said, Preston Williams is going to be starting that wide receiver 2. We're putting, of course, Curtis Samuel in the slot. Defensively, I did end up picking up Marcel Darius and Mike Pennell for defensive tackle since K'Wan Short is no longer around. And, of course, we're going to start our rookie middle linebacker, the lead charge in that defense, behind Jeremy Chin and Shaq Thompson. So I'm hoping that the team's going to do a little bit better. We finished 5-11, which is the same as the year before with Teddy Bridgewater under center. So even with the addition of Deshaun Watson, we didn't see a lot change. Let's fast forward. Hopefully, at the end of this season, we're going to be doing a lot better, and we're going to be in a position for some playoffs and see if we can't get a Super Bowl. All right, guys, Carolina Panthers finished 10-6. And they're going up in the wild card playoff round against the San Francisco 49ers. They actually finished second in the NFC South behind the Saints. Man, the Saints, even I guess with Drew Brees gone, they're still doing the business in the NFC South. All right, Deshaun Watson had a much better season, and I actually did not change the scheme like I said I was going to do. Almost threw for 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Najee Harris had 1,000 yards rushing. That's huge. But Duke Johnson also followed with that. I'm sure he had a lot of receiving yards. Duke Johnson did 3 or 4, not really that much. Curtis Samuel, even in the slot, only had 390 yards receiving. That's very interesting. And Njoku, 821. So Deshaun Watson really targeted him and Preston Williams. DJ Moore, 1,400 yards receiving for 14 touchdowns, guys. That's ridiculous. It's a pretty good season by him. Jeremy Chin led the team in tackles with 100 even. And Derek Brown had 9 sacks. So really, Brian Burns has not been able to really get a lot of sacks in. Anybody getting any interceptions? True Douglas, Dante Jackson both had 2. Obviously, Dante Jackson playing on that franchise tag. Had a decent season, nothing special. Kicking, Joey Slye did miss a few. We were 8th in offensive yards in the NFL, you see right here. And our defense was first. So that's probably what really got us in this position. And let's see if we have anybody here for awards. Deshaun Watson did finish 3rd in Offensive Player of the Year. Now, these things could change, but I rarely see them do. So I'm just going to slowly go through. Trent Fox won Defensive Rookie of the Year, the middle linebacker. That's good for him. He'll probably develop at a much higher rate because of that. And that's what we like to see, of course. Best quarterback, we don't have anybody. DJ Moore won Best Wide Receiver. Of course, he did with those stats, 1,400 yards receiving, 14 touchdowns. And that looks like the gist of it. So let's see San Francisco 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo, I am assuming. Let's advance the week and see if the Panthers take care of business. They do against the San Francisco 49ers. Now they have to go up against, Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Let's advance this. Hopefully we can see a victory for the Panthers, and we lose by 3. Panthers lose by 3. That's tough to see. I didn't mean to rhyme there. But it looks like the Packers are going up against the Cowboys, and then we've got the Chiefs, Cam Newton, and the Patriots. They're hanging in. Guys, didn't get it done this year. That's a pretty good year. It's a better year. We'd like to see some progression. Let's go ahead and advance to the offseason. All right, guys, so after free agency, this is what we're looking like. We still got Greg Little manning the, actually both guard positions. But we've really got to tackle the interior offensive line in this draft. That's what I'm going to go after. We've left everything pretty much the same, and we signed Beck, who is some fantasy fullback. But other than that, that was really it. Oh, everything comes full circle, guys. Cam Newton is back with the Panthers as a backup with Deshaun Watson. We had money to spend, so I figured, hey, why not? You know, why not? We also got Dalvin Tomlinson, defensive tackle out of Alabama, to help out with that interior line. But we're going to let everything else kind of roll. Nothing special in free agency this year. We did keep DJ Moore. We did keep Dante Jackson in offseason. So those were two big potential free agents that we were able to keep and lock up for a little while longer, of course. And the offense is still, I mean, overall, we're 86 overall team before we even get into the draft. Hopefully, we can find some good interior alignment in the draft. Without further ado, let's get it started. All right, here we are, 3 years after the Deshaun Watson trade, and we're just now getting to our first-round draft pick. Now, I scouted pretty heavily, of course, in offensive line. So we're going to look at potentially trying to get, now we've got 2 first-round draft grades on centers. And what I'm probably going to do, I'm going to take Tad Folk here, but I'm probably going to move the other center to a guard position. 76 overall. Unfortunately, he doesn't even have a development trait, but he's going to come in right away and make a big difference in that interior line. And I think we're going to take, again, a center here in the second round as well. And we'll just move him to guard so that he should actually have a higher overall when we move him to guard. But let's go. I think I got a draft board. Yeah, he's the only one with a first round draft grade. I probably actually could wait to get him. Should I wait to get him? Is there anybody else in a position that we need? Let me move out of the center position here that we could potentially take. All right, guys, I'm still going to take center Bradley Lidge, Alabama. I don't know. Oh my God, it looks exactly the same as our first round draft pick there. And guys, we're in the third round. You'll never guess what I'm about to do again. And you'll probably be blown away. Oh no, we don't have it. Okay, there was another center that had a third round draft grade on him, and I probably should have drafted him. But oh well. I don't know who else we're going to pick up here. I'm really not too keen on picking up anyone else. All right, draft recap for everybody. So Tad Folk, Bradley Leach, both come out of the first and second round, 76 overall, 75 overall. Other than that, though, we kind of really just didn't get anybody special, but we did fill 2 big holes in that interior offensive line, which is what we wanted to do. And I think that's going to be very huge to getting the Panthers a little bit further into the playoffs, maybe an NFC Championship title, and then hopefully a Super Bowl title. All right, so regression hits the Panthers hard, 4-12. Man, this is just like real life. If you're a Panther fan, you know, one year they do great, one year they do bad. Let's figure out what happened. 4-12 record, that's not that good. Deshaun Watson, 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, nothing special, but that's not like him. Najee Harris didn't have 1,000 yards rushing. We had 3 800-yard receiving, almost 4 800-yard receiving players, so spread the ball around pretty good. Trent Fox led the team in tackles, and really nothing special. Yeah, the team was just kind of ho-hum. Again, we didn't have anybody with any tackles, double-digit tackles. Trent Fox did have 2 interceptions. Let's look at the stats. We were 29th in offensive yards. And then we were in defense, we were 13th. So it was definitely the offense. So maybe we change up the scheme and figure out if there's something a little bit better at the start of next season. But let's go ahead and go. We're going to keep fast forwarding this thing until the next season and see what happens. All right, guys, it's the final countdown for Deshaun Watson and Carolina Panthers. This is his last year, so we're going to try everything we can to get him into the Super Bowl. He has made the playoffs once, I do believe. This is our 5th year. Yes. Can't remember. Maybe our 3rd. Can't remember. You have to let me know. I can't even remember off the top of my head. But I went out and signed some big-time free agents, put us in a really bad spot as far as the cap goes. So we got Deshaun Watson. We went and signed Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We stayed with our wide receivers. Of course, we still got Orlando Brown. We still got some nice depth as far as, or nice pieces on the offensive line. Decent, not nothing that's really going to blow us away, I don't believe. Linebackers are still in a decent place. We went and got DJ Reader for defensive tackle to help fill that void. And then we also went out and got Michael Ujmudier. I don't know if I really could say him to replace Rasul Douglas. And guys, we went out and got Isaiah Simmons to play strong safety. So we got Isaiah Simmons, Jeremy Chin. This defense is looking pretty good. Now, I'm really going to try to go after, in the draft, I really don't know what we're going to go after. I think the team's pretty solid. We really don't have a necessary need. We do need to find a left guard, but there aren't any good guards that I could see in Robbie Anderson's still available, but there aren't that many good guards in the draft pool. I tried to draft them or scout them, and I didn't see any, and I don't want to reach. We do have the 2nd overall pick, so and that's with a 4-12 record. You know, that's pretty sad. That means we were just really, really bad. We could trade, but since this is really going to be the last season for us, we're going to try to get somebody good. I think we'll go with maybe early first round pick. He's got a better draft grade, quicker speed, a little bit stronger. Stackhouse, Florida State, or Ramsey. Maybe that's Jalen Ramsey's younger brother. Maybe we'll go with corner. I don't really need a lot of corner help. But if I go to my draft board, here's all that we've got. Outside linebackers, we've got a first round grade there, but I think we go with an early draft round pick. We're going to go with Ramsey here, and 77 overall. And he was ranked number 2, so he's the 2nd best player in this pool, and we got him at number 2. That's pretty daggone good. All right, here we go. We're drafting Brooks Drew, outside linebacker, 71 overall. Really not what we were looking for there. All right, here's our draft recap, and hey, the computer actually did pretty good. Marcus Joseph, 71 overall for a 6th round pick. I haven't seen the AI do that in quite a while. So decent draft there. Let's look at the new team. 87 overall, 89 offense. Pretty good. This is pretty decent. I think this team has the potential. Let's hope. This is Deshaun Watson, I think, last year under this contract. So we've got to get a Super Bowl out of this one. All right, everybody. The Panthers squeak in with a 9-7 record into the playoffs. They got to go up against the Detroit Lions. Let's look at the stats here for the Carolina Panthers. Deshaun Watson, again, not a good year. It's kind of weird. You know, Deshaun Watson's a 40 touchdown thrower. I mean, easy, you know, but maybe that's because they play from behind a lot. Obviously, he's been doing it with the Panthers, but Madden simulation, it is what it is. We're just not getting that same production. Clyde Edwards-Helaire did not do a lot either. It's got to be the scheme, guys. DJ Moore had 1,000 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns. Nothing really special. Njoku has really had a good season and a good career coming to the Panthers. And as far as the defense goes, Trent Fox again leading the team in tackles. Decent rush or sacks. You know, it's probably, I think that's one of the best seasons that we've had so far. And then Isaiah Simmons with 5 interceptions, so that's a good sign as well. And remember, we broke the bank for it. The Panthers organization has given away trade picks, has signed really top-tier talent as far as free agency. They're in cap trouble right now, so they really need a touchdown or a Super Bowl to justify all the moves that they made. This is Deshaun Watson's last year in his contract. Let's see if Deshaun Watson and the Panthers get to the Super Bowl. All right, guys, check it out. Panthers have made it the first they have. 9-7 record. Going up against the Atlanta Falcons, 2 wild card teams facing off in the NFC Championship. Let's check out this other side of this bracket. This is interesting. The Texans are the number 1 seed going up against the Baltimore Ravens. Could we potentially have Deshaun Watson on the Panthers going against his former team, the Houston Texans, in the Super Bowl? Let's hope so, because if that does happen, I'm taking over. We're definitely going to play that game. Let's see what happens. And I don't know. Let's advance. Yes, next week versus the Titans. We are playing the Houston Texans. I say the Titans. The Houston Texans in the Super Bowl. This is going to be good. All right, so you see Christian McCaffrey is still with the Houston Texans. I'm actually wanting to look at these superstar factor traits. J.J. Watt is still with the Houston Texans. That is pretty crazy. We don't have anyone else. I was wanting to see who the quarterback was. I guess we can find out here relatively quickly. And let's go ahead and get this game started. We're going to play the moments and then see what will come in. We'll see if there's a situation where we actually need to play. But tight situations, we are definitely going to take over and try to get a Super Bowl for the Carolina Panthers. We're here in, is this the Mercedes-Benz Dome? Looks like it. Christian McCaffrey wearing the Houston Texans uniform. That looks definitely weird. Look at Deshaun Watson. This is cool. You know, of course, Christian McCaffrey wants to win the game against his former team that traded him, and so does, of course, Deshaun Watson. There he is. Man, and this offense, this is going to actually be a fun offense to play with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We're going to take that first lead. Here we go, getting the ball first. We are on the 25-yard line. Let's start off with a play action. Let's fake out the team. Now, I am playing on all Madden. I haven't adjusted any of the sliders or anything, so it's going to be a little bit different than what I normally play with, and we don't have anybody here open to start that first play of the drive. All right, so we've got a little second down and 10 here, and wide open right over the middle. We've got Preston Williams, and we've got a flag on the play. Is this going to be holding? And it is holding on the offense after we caught the ball, so no, it's going to be 2nd and 20 again. Man, not a good start for the Panthers here. Let's flip this play over. Didn't really mean to do that, but we're going to see if we can find DJ Moore open over here in the slot. Not. There he is. Perfect. Caught. Dropped. Oh, man. 3rd and 20. Going with a dagger route. We'll leave Clyde Edwards in here to block. Let's see if we can. Oh, man. Wide open is DJ Moore there on the 40-yard line. First throw or completion of the day for Deshaun Watson and the boys. 26 yards. Let's run this thing in with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Let's try to run with him. I want to see what he looks like in a Panthers uniform. Ooh, got a little stick move there. 11 yards rushing for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, CED. Go with another play action. I want to see if one of these will bomb. Maybe Curtis Samuel will get open here. He's got the speed to do the thing. But nah, let's just give that to our boy DJ Moore. And it looks like we got a face mask on the play. Let's move this ball down another 15 yards. Thank you. Ball on a 19, giving this ball right back to Clyde Edwards-Helaire here. If you can't run it. Oh, another pickup. First 2 runs on the day for Helaire. Both 10-yard first down pickups. We're going to go a slant. Maybe we'll find Curtis Samuel open. There he is. Perfect. Touchdown. Panthers go up 7-0. All right, we got a big 3rd down stop for the Panthers. We're in. Oh, we're definitely in field goal range for the. Who is that? Sam Darnold for the Texans? Is that Sam Darnold? Oh, my goodness. Is that Brandon Cooks? We don't know who's on these teams anymore. Brandon Cooks just burns, I think that was Dante Jackson, for a touchdown on 3rd and 5. And the Texans have tied this game up. Extra point good. The Texans take a 7-point lead. We've got a 3rd down. We want to keep this play alive. 3rd and 10. We go with the screen play. I don't really like the screens in this year's Madden. Now, we do have a chance to kick a field goal. Maybe we have something here. There's Clyde Edwards-Helaire, drops it, and we're going to have to kick a field goal. Continue to the next moment. Big field goal. We'll just skip it. He shouldn't make that field goal. He does. Big 3rd down stop. Let's skip it. See what happens. 2-minute drill. Get some points. We're getting this ball right back on the 3-yard line. All right, we got exactly 2 minutes to go on the 3-yard line. Let's leave Njoku in the block. You know how those edge rushers like to try to get open. And let's take this ball with Preston Williams down to the 20-yard line. And let's do a hurry up. We don't want to waste too much time off the clock. Let's go with the switch. Maybe DJ Moore will be open here. We don't know. Ooh, we just got rid of that. All right, we're looking for Preston Williams on this in route here that he's about to run. Let's watch. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a pick. We threw a pick. Gotta make that tackle. All right, let's see if the Texans, they do score. We get a 2-minute drill again. Ball on the 25. Oh, this sucks. This sucks. That put us in a bad spot. We got to go down and score some points here, fellas and ladies. We got to make sure that... There we go. Throw it. Throw it. Throw it. Oh, Deshaun Watson breaks J.J. Watt's sack, but he just can't get rid of the ball quick enough. Now we're just going to have to see if the ball gets picked again. This is turning from bad to worse for the Carolina Panthers, man. This is like a nightmare for Deshaun Watson and his crew. All right, so we're picking this one up in the third quarter. Here we are. We're down by 14. We've got to make a stop. We got to, no, we don't want to make a stop. We want to score. There we go. Clyde Edwards-Helaire picking it up right at third down. Red zone alert time. We got to score, guys. I can't believe we've gotten this predicament, and I say we, it's really me. I'm the one that's blown this one, but we're going to score a touchdown on this play. Right here, right now. Psych. Just, oh, it was almost intercepted again. We only got 5 minutes, too. We don't have a lot of time on the clock. Unfortunately, broken tackle by Njoku. Let's go to hurry up. I don't want to waste too much time. We're going to run the same play again. I'm hoping that one of these... There we go. Touchdown. There we go. Perfect. Panthers are going to be only down by 7 points. Hopefully they'll get the ball back. The defense can make a stop. Oh, my God, guys. It's fourth down. What? They give us the ball like this? Are we serious? Catch that ball. Perfect. Preston Williams running up the middle. We might be going into overtime, fellas. Deshaun Watson has done a good job. 3 touchdowns, except for the 2 interceptions are 100%, of course, on me. And, man, that was a tight situation they put us in. We just can't make any more mistakes. We got to go down here and score to tie up. Maybe we go for down. We're going to go for 2. We can get this ball down. We're going to go for 2 and try to win it. That would be a slap in the face, I think, for the Houston Texans. DJ Moore with a nice little pickup there on that out route. Getting the ball to the 43. Of course, we want to run some time off the clock, too. Juke move by Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. All right, 2nd and 1. Don't need to do too much. Don't get too fancy here. There we go. Wide open is Curtis Samuel. And, oh, he jukes both defenders. And we score a touchdown. Now, guys, I think with 1:53, I didn't mean to score there. I think we just had to kick the field goal, and we got to make a stop. We kick a field goal, and we try to make the stop. Sam Darnold cannot beat us. We cannot let Sam Darnold beat us, guys. Let's try to make the stop, get the ball back, and score a touchdown ourselves. That's inbounds. Okay, we'll take it. If they want to run the time off the clock, that's totally up to them. We're not going to force them to do anything. Let's blitz. Bring some pressure. Throwing it out of bounds. That's perfect. So we got a 3rd and 9. We know they're passing it. Our middle linebacker, Fox, here. He's a fox. Got 2 tight ends over here on the right side. We got to watch both of them, see what they do. There we go. Broken pass play up. We got some pressure in his face. I don't know who that was. Brian Burns, the superstar outside linebacker, outside lineman, defensive end. And we're getting this ball back with 1:20 to go. We're about a minute. Let's see what we can do as far as the return game goes. Oh, ball on the 45. We've got 1:14 left. We got all 3 of our timeouts. We got plenty of time here to make something happen. And all we really need is, we get hit, is a field goal. So we need about 20 yards roughly, not even really that much. And then we can win this game. Now, we just don't need to throw a pick. We can't get too crazy and throw a pick here. There's Curtis Samuel on the 46. Now that is going to put us in what? Let's go ahead and call a timeout. All right, so we're in a 3rd and 1. We're running it. We're just going to pick up this first down. Perfect. Run it right into J.J. Watt. Ball on the 42-yard line. And I am going 100% for kicking a field goal here and winning this thing. Man, we got to make the field goal kick, though. You know they're going to ice us. Also can't fumble it. All right, guys, we have ran it. Picked up a first down. There comes a timeout. It's going to make this a little bit of a tough kick because I don't have a straight angle at it. I do not have a straight angle at this kick. We're going to have to make sure we angle it appropriately. And hopefully that's good. Of course it is. The Panthers win the Super Bowl with Deshaun Watson against his former team. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool to see. I think that's interesting to see how that all transpired. And it looked like that was the right move for both teams, right? We see the Texans traded away from Deshaun Watson. And in the same time frame it took Deshaun Watson and the Panthers to get to the Super Bowl, they got into a Super Bowl. Of course, the Panthers came on top, so we got to give the edge. Deshaun Watson there. Sam Darnold, a little resurrection in Houston. That's pretty interesting to see, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you want to see more things like this, smash that like button, subscribe to stay up to date with everything that I put out. I appreciate everybody sticking around and seeing this unfold. It's pretty cool that it came to be that way. I'll catch everybody later. Loopy out.